So let's talk about fear for a little bit. 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 7. For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and love and a sound mind. So 2 things I get from that verse. Number 1, fear is an actual spirit. It's not a fleeting thought or feeling that we have from time to time. It's a spirit being inflicted on us. And number 2, that spirit did not come from God. So we know exactly where it came from. So I was doing a little research before I made this video because now I got curious as to how often the word fear is used in the Bible. And what I found was that phrases like fear not, do not be afraid, be not afraid, those 3 phrases are used in the Bible over 300 times. And why is that? Why would that be? The only conclusion I can come to is that the Lord knows that fear can cripple us, and fear will lead us to making rash decisions at times. So how does Satan use fear against us? Let's talk about something as simple as the stock market. So we all know what happened back in 2020 when virus 19 was going around, right? And a lot of us panicked, including myself. A lot of us was nervous of what's to come in the future because the way they was making it seem was like if it touched you, was like it's over, your life over with. So a lot of people, what they did was they sold a lot of their stock or all of their stock or cashed in their 401ks, start hitting the supermarket, buying up everything. You know what happens. And the elites, quote unquote, this is how they capitalize on that. Once the stock market plummeted, they started closing places and all of that. The elite come in and buy the stock for cheap. And then eventually, once the fear subsides and everything starts opening up slowly but surely, they then quadruple, probably even more, their investment just because of our fear. Us being so nervous of what's to come, they able to capitalize on it in that manner. And that's just one thing. Like, what about people fear of what others may think of them? Something as simple as the clothes that they wear. You can't tell me that people don't buy and wear expensive stuff just so other people won't view them as being less than or having less than. Even if they actually have less than, people will spend their last just to make the situation look better than what it is, or to be able to say, well, I have on this designer bag or this designer brand, all on the premise of people not looking at them as a bum, so to speak. People fear that. And I'm guilty of fearing what other people think of me too. And the more I thought about it like that, why did Satan want me to feel as much fear as I felt going through my life? Why did Satan want me to fear people knowing how I truly think and who I truly am before I even realized who I truly am? Because growing up, the thoughts that people have, like the violence that we're expected to inflict, only caring about wanting to get women, wanting to have on nice clothes, like stuff like that, I didn't really care about, but it seemed like everybody else did. So I feared people finding out like, oh, well, he don't fit in. He don't fit in with us. Not realizing that God made me that way for a reason. He wanted me to stand out, to represent him. This is why it's important to get your children in church. This is why it's important to get a Bible in your kids' hands so they can understand these things, that maybe if they are somebody who's meant to stand out and be different and represent the Lord, that they can draw strength from that and be, I don't want to use the word proud, but they can rejoice in that. They can rejoice in the fact that God set them apart, and there is a reason why that they think differently than other people instead of feeling like how I felt. Like, dang, something wrong with me because everybody else is doing this, so this must be right. And then all of the self-hatred just build up, you know? So out of my fear, I bury who I truly am just because I feared what people may think of me if they figured out that I didn't view the world the same way they did. And it's funny because this reminded me of a time where when I went to juvie, and I wasn't there for a long time, first off. And second off, I ain't some type of career criminal or nothing. This was just like a one-off thing. But long story short, we meeting with the public defender, so to speak. I don't know if that's what the dude really was. But he was the one that was going to be in court representing me to get me to go home after the weekend was up. But I'm talking to him, you know, you got the glass in between us. And I'm talking to him. And maybe like 5 or 10 minutes, I'm talking to him and he writing something down on a piece of paper. So I'm being nosy. I'm trying to read like, dang, what the piece of paper say? What that say over there? And I see what it says, dog, and this is what it said. It said something to the effect of, he's too weak to stand on his own. And I read that. I was like, dang, like, dog, he absolutely right. How does he know this about me? How does he know this, bro? We've been talking for like 5 or 10 minutes. How did he figure this out that fast about me? And that's another reason why it's important to have the Lord in your life, because if that person can realize that fast, 5 to 10 minutes, that I wasn't comfortable just to stand alone, I felt the need to be a part of a group, even if that meant compromising my own true beliefs, then other people, regular people, maybe that person was a psychiatrist to some extent, but other people can recognize that too. People can see that fear of wanting to feel accepted, wanting to fit in, and they can take advantage of it. That's why, to alleviate all of that fear, the only thing you can do is put your life in the Lord's hands. That's your best bet. I saw something one time where a dude said, if you don't have the love and fear of God, you're going to have love and fear of everything else. And that is absolutely true. I know that firsthand, my own experience. And like they also say, the fear of God is the beginning of having wisdom. So put your head in that Bible, man, because the reality is nothing to fear out here but the Lord. He's in control. He's sovereign. No matter how your life is going, if you surrender your life to the Lord, everything will be turned and used for his good and your good. No matter your mistakes, no matter what happened, there is no reason to fear if you put your life in the Lord's hands. Don't let Satan fear you with the loss of losing your comfort. And it's going to get to that point, I believe, that they're going to do everything they can to fear us and to potentially take in the mark of the beast, bro. And that's just real. If there was ever a time to chase after the Lord, chase after salvation, fix your relationship with God, this is the time, bro. Turn away from this world. Don't fear what anybody think. Don't fear how anybody may feel, what they may say about you. And fix your relationship with God. If anybody we should fear is him. He's in control. Enough is enough, man. I'm out.